Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your April 6, 2023 full moon reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be linked in the description box below. And if you would like to check out my friend Eddie's website, YouTube page, that will also be in the description box below. He's also a tarot reader. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's see the energy that we need to be mindful of here, Scorpio, as we enter into the full moon in Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. We have the Lovers. So this is Gemini energy. We could be having a bit of difficulty with a Gemini, can come out just really as bluntly as that. But we can also be having a bit of difficulty coming to terms with the dual sides of ourselves. Remember, the sun is in Aries, the moon is in Libra. These are sister signs. They are opposite signs. So they can bring out the best in each other and the worst in each other. And that can be an energy that we're really having a hard time with right now. Also a sense of embracing what we love, looking at what we lust after, looking at where we want to be, how we want to move things forward. We can feel very much that we're being pulled in different directions, or that we're not seeing the full picture, or we can get very caught up in one way of things being, which is going to be kind of like the overly romanticized way of things being instead of what is actually there. So just be very mindful of this during this time, Scorpio, especially if you're born on the cusp with Libra, or you have a lot of Libra in your chart. You're going to want to balance the scales towards something very beautiful, because that's just how Libra rolls, like just the sense of beauty and peace and calm and everything being all together. And what I'm really getting from the Lovers right here is like, yeah, caught up in that moment, it can all be beautiful, but our lives are more than just moments. So just be very aware of this. So let's see the message from Spirit right here. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. And here we have peace. To embrace peace during this time, I mean, this is one of the most healing full moons. We have Jupiter conjunct the moon. During this time, Libra is all about healing. It is all about balance and harmony and health. So embracing that, embracing our peace, embracing the way that we move forward in harmony for ourselves is going to be so important. Now let's see what the tarot has to say, and let's talk about this time a bit, astrologically speaking. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Okay. So what's very interesting here is that we have the Seven of Cups reversed. I'm going to just move this all down a bit so you can see better. And with the Seven of Cups reversed, it's just coming out, Scorpio, we're not going to be that patient. This moon is going to want us to be patient and harmonizing, and we can feel a little bit of a discord. It's kind of like when a string is out of tune on an instrument or something like that, like the chord isn't being hit right. Now, we have a wish that we've crossed our fingers for and we wish for. We say, oh, I really want this to happen. It hasn't happened. That's going to make us discouraged. But what I'm seeing here with the Six of Cups, is that we have a tendency right now to look a lot at the past to say what I want in the future. And what Spirit is really kind of daring us to do is to break the ties of what has weighed us down in our present and in our past, and saying, how do I come to balance now? Because remember, Libra is all about balance energy. And so with the Two of Pentacles, there is this real sense of, how do I come to balance? How do I come to harmony with myself? How do I move me forward? Now, this is the 7th and the last full moon that is 16 degrees within its sign, meaning that the moon is 16 degrees in Libra. And the 16th card in the tarot is the Tower. Now, we are also entering into eclipse season. This Tower energy brings the last time of immense change. And we've seen this within ourselves for the past 7 months. We've seen change, whether people can see it or not, that is hugely impacting us and hugely impacting the way that we see the world. We're taking a lot from our childhood with the Six of Cups. We're taking a lot from our past, our history, our, ancestral history, our spiritual history, things that we might not even be really aware of. And they've been making up a lot of who we are. But what we're going to see here is that the moon is quincunx Uranus. And what that really means is that Uranus is all about awakening. This moon brings with it big awakenings. And it also plays off of Aquarius energy. So if you have Aquarius within your chart, that part of you is going to be awakening to so much more. Now, Libra is all about justice. It's all about a voice being heard. We can have things from the past coming up that want to be heard within our lives in the present. They might not be able to be heard the way that we want them to be. The way that we think, oh, okay, this person needs to know that they wronged me or hurt me or this me or that me this way. It's not really going to be about that, but that could be how it shows up. And I'm seeing Scorpio, it's kind of like, I need to tell somebody this. And what Spirit is really saying here is that we need to see the hurts and the scars that we have. But we also need to see that we're not that person anymore. And it starts to move us forward in a way where we look at the vampiric energy that has been in our lives with the Four of Pentacles and really saying, I'm severing these ties. Whether we realize it or not, that's going to be a huge part of who we are, because we want the past to have a voice. And that's going to be something that's a little bit tricky, okay? But what we're going to find is that as we give it a voice in our own psyche, it starts to be freed within us. We start to release more and more and more that which we don't have control over, okay? And maybe we never had control over it. Past life traumas, this life traumas, which is enough in this life, ancestral traumas, even spiritual traumas that we've faced. And now we're really starting to say, I am moving towards something so much bigger. And the Aries energy that the sun is in now, the sun is in Aries, is all about new beginnings, new starts. I mean, we really want to see ourselves moving forward. And Libra just says, stay in peace. Stay in peace. We want a new start. We can feel it. We're kind of saying, oh, it's spring if you're in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, we're like, oh, it's fall. I want this change because the seasons are changing. Not because Aries energy is like, hey, listen, we're going to do this. We're going to push forward. We're going to get to where we need to be, which is really what's coming into play here. It brings us to a place where we've been kind of struggling with balance. And you might find during this time, because, Libra is an air sign energy, you can find that something happens and you start to speak on the energies that are out of balance in your life that you've been afraid to speak on. It's not about changing the past, okay? That's kind of, that's done. But what we're really saying now is, how do I move forward in my present in balance? And we're going to find that some things that we're trying to keep in balance, we just can't. And we're also going to start to look at the things like, why am I avoiding this? The things that we have been avoiding, the things that have been overwhelming us. How do we move forward to where we need to be? We are setting goals. We're looking at the bigger picture. We're saying, this is what I want. And, how do I go after this? That's the Aries energy. And the Libra energy wants everything to be balanced. Some things are just going to be out of balance. Some things are going to be recalibrated. It leaves us to the Nine of Cups. We're having across our fingers, like, I wished for this now. Why isn't it happening? Energy come into play. And what we have to realize is sometimes we don't always get what we want. And I know a lot of you are saying, Dane, I'm more than well aware, like, if you know how many setbacks I've had, but Spirit's saying we don't always get what we want. And it's not a bad thing. Spirit has a plan for us. Divinity has a plan for us that is bigger in its scope than the plan that we have for ourselves. So with the Nine of Cups reversed, it's not a bad thing that we haven't gotten what we wished for. It's not. Because if we got exactly what we wished for, exactly how we wished for it, the beauty that Spirit has planned for us wouldn't be able to come in, or the path that is opening to us wouldn't be available. So just know right here, right now, that there's something that you've wanted and it hasn't worked out the way that you expected. It's not a bad thing. It has either taught others valuable lessons, or it has left you open for opportunities to come into your life that you never expected. And it can also be both. So just know here that, your children might have learned from these lessons, or, friends, or even you. Like, as you're moving forward, it's like, wow, if that would have happened, this door never would have opened. This avenue never would have been. I would have taken this instead of that. So just be aware of it, because there is a sense here of us being very upset. Like, I haven't gotten what I wanted. I wanted it. I'm a good person. This isn't fair. Libra wants to make everything fair, but sometimes things in life aren't meant to be. And I know that's a stinky thing to say. Like, nobody wants to hear that. But seriously, sometimes in life, we don't always get the wins. And it's not fair, and it's not right, and it's hard. But we're going to see that we're not patiently kind of waiting anymore. We really have that Aries energy coming in, and it's saying, listen, I know I'm healing, I know I'm growing, I know the harmony is here, it's beautiful, but it's also time to move. It's also time to take action. You're going to start to have things falling into place. Like, you start to say, well, look at this and look at that. And look, when I was doing this, how well that worked out. And look, when I was doing that, like, how that didn't work out. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's what I was missing. I was getting caught up in little dramas that took away my bigger power. Now I'm reclaiming it again. There's a healing that we're stepping into because we realize we can't balance everything the way that we thought, or we realize that, we have just been overwhelmed. And so if we can do small bite-sized pieces and say, okay, I'm moving forward this way. Okay, I'm not being distracted like this. That's going to be really empowering for us. Now let's see what the moon has to say for herself. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. So what's really interesting here, and when I left, is, we have the sister energy of Aries and Libra coming in. It brings extremes. We're not here for those extremes, Scorpio. We're like, listen, I understand things can be extreme. I understand that, the pendulum will swing this way and that way. I need things to be rather steady in my life, or I need things to be harmonized the way that a way that has me moving forward in success. So just know that here, right now, you're really not in it for the extremes. You're not really caring about the extremes, and you don't want them. With the full moon in Leo, it says, don't let pride get in your way. We're talking a lot about the ego. Pride, ego, coming into play. What we're going to be learning about during this time, and probably for a lot of us from this time over, it's like, how does the ego get into play and wind up messing up my dreams, like messing up what I want? I don't want the extremes. I don't want the huge pendulum swings. Scorpio, we're just not about that life at all. So being aware of that and being aware of how I'm having my life fall into balance, and I'm not letting my pride get in the way. I don't care what other people think about me, and I don't care how, this happens or that happens. I'm standing in the power of me as I move forward. And that sounds like the ego coming forward, but it's like, no, I'm standing in the God side within me. I'm standing in the essence of myself, and I am moving forward towards more. It's not scared like I can't. It's not scared, I have to prove, or what will this person think of me or that person think of me. It's my life that I'm taking control of. Now we're crowned. That was just what I was instantly drawn to. We're crowned with wisdom, and it's a time to give rather than take. So, when you're standing outside and you just breathe in the fresh air, and you take in the sound of the birds singing. And I just love to do that in the springtime here where I live. And we're taking it all in. Now it's time to give also. Now it's time. I just see this like, it's time to tend the garden. We can take it all in, but it's time to tend the garden. It's time to weed out what needs to be weeded out. It's time to, plant what needs to be planted. I mean, if you're like me, where I live, there's still frost. So, you can't plant until around May. But here, there's a sense of, there is wisdom in what I have learned. There is wisdom in standing in my power. There's wisdom in my past, but my path is not to keep walking in my past. And that is why we're giving rather than taking. That is why we're giving of our energy, our time, our effort, and the wisdom guides us. There is a sense here as we really look at the vampiric energy that has been holding me back. It says the unexpected. The unexpected starts to come up, like unexpected things that have been holding us back, unexpected memories that come forward. Like if we just meditate on vampiric energy or energy that's holding us back, or even think of it as a sacred cord cutting. What am I bound to that is holding me stagnant? We're going to find that things come up that we didn't even think was a big deal. We thought, oh, well, that was just silly. But it held us back in a really weird way and in a profound way that made us embarrassed to move forward. And it says, what do you need to release? And that's what we're going to see. This moon is going to show us a lot of what we need to release, how we need to move forward, how we need to be empowered for us. And it brings us to the fact that conclusions are within reach. We're not powerless, even though at times we might feel it. We're letting go of what we wish for in the moment. And we're saying, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. Where I am, how I'm moving forward. Yes, there are those who have much more than us, but there are those who also have a lot less. I'm at peace. And as we start to raise our energy vibration, as we start to claim our own power, we start to see things change. We start to see a confidence in ourselves come forward that isn't from ego, that isn't from I'll prove you all wrong. And then the conclusions are within reach, like answers start to come. A personal issue, it isn't reaching a resolution right now, as we are really looking, not to be patient, to charge forward. And we might not be coming to things with the purest of intentions. There is a sense here of, I want what I want, and I'm going after what I want, and I will get what I want. And we could say, well, that's the ego coming into play. Yeah, Aries energy has a lot to do with the ego, but Libra energy has a lot to do with balancing it. So what we're going to see here is that there's something that we want. There's when you have something caught in your tooth, and you're like, well, that's annoying. I have to get that out, or, I have to work on this first. There's something right in front of us right now that it's I have to work on this before the door opens. And it's an unrest that we have. And that's going to show us, okay, I'm not coming from this from a completely, awakened, calm, powerful stance. I'm coming it from, I need this done and I'm going to get this done because I haven't reached that resolution yet. So there's something within us right now, Scorpio, that we're going to think, oh, this is bad because I'm anxious around this. But it's actually something where you need to take the reins. You need to say, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm fixing this problem, and then I'm moving forward. And as I fix this problem, I'm coming into balance with myself. We can chant Chui in, I believe that is a Tibetan chant that has anxiety to go away. Longer E than Chu, right? And then you can also close your fingers like this, kind of like an okay sign, to be able to balance your energy, keep your energy sphere in focus, in balance, in harmony, to be able to open up doors, to be able to say, I am harmonized. I am embracing my energy, what I desire. Look at Spring Forest Qigong. Seriously, that is absolutely amazing. It's here on YouTube. You can go deeper if you want to, but there's this real sense of, I need to be present in the moment for me. I need to be present in what I desire, because our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Princess of Pentacles. And it's reverse. It's a sense of immaturity around money. It's a sense of doubts and fears. There's something here where we have a gift, we're not using it. We have a prosperity, we're not embracing it. And so it makes us think, I can't move forward the way that I want to because I'm having false starts. I'm scared. I'm overwhelmed. But there's something where we're looking at things and it's like we have this one vision because that's all we know. But Spirit's saying here, there's more to it out there than what we're seeing right now. So just be aware of this. I don't know, because this is a general reading, the specifics don't come up as clearly, but it's kind of like when my mom was growing up and she said, you either became a teacher or a nurse. Those were the professions. You didn't become anything else. Nobody talked about that if you went to work at all. So here, it's kind of like what you know is limited. So look at what you love and then start Googling. Like then kind of start searching, start stepping deeper into it. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message. And this is focus reversed. Scorpio, we can be very unfocused during this time, very much energetically, like all over the place. And we could be thinking, how am I supposed to come into balance? I'm in discord with the Libra energy of this full moon. Slow down and breathe. Look at the discord, the ADHD, the disfocus, the sense of things being overwhelming. And say, okay, I get that. I get that about me. And start to focus on what's making us chaotic, on what's overwhelming us. And step forward in that energy, step by step by step. Because you're going to find that your ability to juggle many things, to not be fully focused on one task, like 150%, that's actually going to be one of your superpowers, so that you can juggle. Make sure you're mindful of what you're juggling, because you don't want the extremes during this time. And you don't want your pride to get in the way. Say, oh, see, they said I couldn't do it. I can do it. I'm going to show them. Do it for you. Don't do anything for them. Do it all for you. The subconscious message from the tarot is the Empress reversed. The Empress reversed is we have creative energy that's stuck. We want to create. We want to cultivate. We want to give birth to something into this world. It's stuck right now. Why? Because we have cords to cut. Because we have energy that's holding us back to the past and not letting us move forward in the present. That needs to be acknowledged, okay? Our subconscious message from the moon is confidence is your key to success. Again, focus is going to be hard. It just is. If we acknowledge this and say, okay, so I won't be super focused. I can be overwhelmed at times. That's okay. How do I move forward? How do I get to where I need to be? What is it that I need to discover and come to a realization of? Knowing that the focus can be out of alignment, and knowing that our third eye, the way that we see things, the way that we're taking everything in, might be blocked during this time, is also something to be aware of. And also to be aware, do we want to open it? Do we want to be able to see and feel and understand things that can be very hard to explain to others? Okay. All right, Scorpio. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this full moon and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. God bless. Bye.